Hello friends, today we will do chapter of transportation problems. The objective of transportation problem is to satisfy the required quantity of goods or services available at each supply origin at the minimum transportation cost or time. The key idea is to minimize the cost or the time of transportation. We have two types of problems. First is balanced problems, second is unbalanced problems. First of all, we will learn what are the transportation problems. Here we have a problem. In it, we have factories A, B, C, and these are stores. First store, second store, third store. Here is demand. First store has demand of 75 products. Second store has demand of 20 products. And third has 50 products. These are supply. A factory can supply 10 products. B factory can supply 80 products. C factory can supply 55 products. These are transportation cost. It means if A factory supply products to first store, then transportation cost will be 4 rupees. If A factory supply products to second store, then cost will be 9 rupees. If A factory supply to third store, then cost will be 2 rupees. In the same way, if B factory supply to first store, the transportation cost will be 3 rupees. And if B factory supply to second store, transportation cost will be 6 rupees. And if B factory supply to third store, then transportation cost will be 4 rupees. C factory supply to first store, then cost will be 8 rupees. And C factory supply to second store, then cost will be 5 rupees. And in the last, if C factory supply to third store, then cost will be 3 rupees. So these are the different transportation cost, and these are demands, and these are supplies. So this is the transportation problem. Now we will check whether it is balanced problem or unbalanced problem. Here we can see demand. In first store demand is 75, in second store demand is 20, in third store demand is 50, and total of demand is 145. And supply 10, 80, 55. Its total is 145. Means total demand is 145 and total supply is also 145. So we can say this is the balanced problem. Now we will learn what are the unbalanced problems. In this problem we have demand 75, 20, 50. And supply is 10, 80, 15. The total of demand is 145 and total supply is 80, 10, 90, 90 and 15, 105, 105. Means we have total supply is 105 and total demand is 145. So we can say this problem is unbalanced problem. Now we will convert this unbalanced problem into balanced problem by introducing a dummy row 0, 0. Here we can write 40 because here we have 105. So 105 and 40 is 145. Now we have total supply is equal to 145 and total demand is equal to 145. So we can say this problem is balanced problem. It is the way by which we can convert unbalanced problem into balanced problem. Here we can see other example. In this example we have required time is 130, 140, 160 and total time is 430 and available time is 160, 160, 160 and total available time is 480. We can see required time is 430 and available time is 480. So we can see this is unbalanced problem. Now we will convert this unbalanced problem into balanced problem by introducing a dummy column. 0, 0, 0. Here we can write 50. Now required time is 480 and available time is 480. So we can say now this is a balanced problem. So students, this is a method by which we can convert a unbalanced problem into balanced problem. This is the first step. We have three methods to solve these transportation problems. First is northwest corner method. Second is lowest cost entry method. Third is Vogel's approximation method. These are the methods by which we can solve any transportation problem. And students, in these methods, this third method, Vogel's approximation method, is most popular. In most of cases, we always use this Vogel's approximation method. Now I will teach you all these three methods, that how can we solve transportation problems with the help of these methods. Students, now we will solve this transportation problem by using northwest corner method. In this transportation problem, we have three factories X, Y, Z, stores A, B, C. Here we have supply 40, in B store 50, in C store 30, and total supply is 120. And here we have demand 20, 40, 60, and its total is also 120. So we can see that here total supply is 120 and total demand is 120. So we can say this is the balanced problem. So here we have no need to convert this problem because this is already a balanced problem. Now we will learn to solve this problem by using northwest corner method. In this method, first of all, the allocation will be done in first cell here. This is the first cell of first row and first column. So here we have demand of 20 and here we have supply of 40. We can give 20 to this cell. Now our first row is fully exhausted and here we have first column. Now here 20 is left. Now we have this part. In this part, our first cell is this. This is the first cell of first column and first row. So here we can allocate 20. Now this first column has been fully satisfied and this first row has been fully satisfied. Now we have only this part. In this part we can allocate to our first cell 20. Now this row has been fully satisfied. So here we can write 30. Now this column has been fully satisfied and this row has been fully satisfied. Last we have this column and this row. We can write 30 in this column, in this cell. So we can see that this third last row also has been fully satisfied. This is the northwest corner method. In this method, first of all, allocation is done in first cell of first row and first column. Then we can check if the first row has been fully satisfied, we will go to second row. And if first column has been fully satisfied, we will go to second column. This is the way to solve the problem. These are our allocated cells and these are unallocated cells. Students, now we will check number of allocations. Here number of allocations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have number of allocations are 5 and we have 3 rows and 3 columns. Now we will check step 1. Allocations are equal to m plus n minus 1. M plus n minus 1 means row plus column minus 1. Here we have 3 rows and 3 columns. 3 plus 3 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. Our number of allocation should be equal to row plus column minus 1. M plus n minus 1 is equal to 5. 3 plus 3 minus 1 is equal to 5. 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. Here we can say m plus n minus 1 is equal to 5. So we can go to next step. If we have number of allocations are equal to m plus n minus 1, then we can find u values and v values. And if we have number of allocations are not equal to m plus n minus 1, then we have to do allocations so that number of allocations are equal to m plus n minus 1. But in this problem we have number of allocations are 5. So we can see we have number of allocations are equal to m plus n minus 1, which is very easy. So we can find uv values. Now we will try to find uv values. Now we will find ui values and vj values. First of all, we write here u1, u2, u3, v1, v2, v3. Now we can say u1 plus v1 is equal to this cell. We can write here 0. We will start from u1. If we have u1 is equal to 0 and this cell has 3, that means v1 is equal to 3, because 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. Now we will calculate u2 value by using this v1 value. u2 plus v1 is equal to this cell, and this cell has 4. v1 is equal to 3, so we can say here we will write 1. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Now we will calculate v2 value by using this u2 value. u2 plus v2 is equal to this cell, and this cell has 4, means 1 plus v2 is equal to 4. So v2 will be 3. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Now we will calculate u3 value by using v2 value. v2 is equal to 3 and u3 plus v2 is equal to this cell. This cell has 3, means u3 will be 0. Now we have all ui values. u1 is equal to 0, u2 is equal to 1 and u3 is equal to 0. Now v1 is equal to 3, v2 is equal to 3. We will find this v3 value. u3 plus v3 is equal to this cell, and this cell has 5. If we have u3 is equal to 0, that means v3 will be 5. So we have all ui values and all vj values. Now we will do a uv matrix. Here we have ui plus vj matrix for allocated oblique unallocated cell. In this matrix we will write the same value what was in the problem, 3, 4, 4, 3, 5 in the allocated cells. You can check what are the values in the problem. Same values are in these allocated cell in this uv matrix, and these blank cells are our unallocated cells. We will write here values by using ui and vj values. In this cell we will write total of u3 plus v1. What is the total of u3 plus v1? 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. And in this cell u1 plus v2 value, 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. And now this cell, here we will write u1 plus v3 total. u1 plus v3 is equal to 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Now this blank cell, here we will write total of u2 value plus v3 value. 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. Now this is our ui plus vj matrix. We have all values. Now we don't have any blank cell. You can see some cells are allocated cells but some cells are unallocated cells. Now we will calculate this matrix. To calculate this matrix, we have also a method. In this matrix, some cells are allocated cell. You can see these cells which are highlighted, these are allocated cells. In these cells, no values should be write. We will write only in these blank cells. These are our unallocated cells. We will calculate the value of this cell. To find the way to write the value, we have a method. What will we do? We will check in the original problem. In the original problem, here we have value is 8. And in this UI matrix, we have value is 3. We will deduct 3 from this original cell 8. 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. This is the way to write the values in unallocated cell. Now the turn of this cell. In this cell we can see in the original problem, in that cell we have 9. And in this UV matrix we have 3. 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. Now we will write in this cell. In this cell, you can see in the original problem here we have 6. We will deduct this 5 from 6. 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. Now we will write in this cell. We can see here we have 6 in the original problem. And also we have 6 in the UI plus VJ matrix. We will deduct 6 from 6 is equal to 0. Now you can see that all cells are filled by the values. You can see here we have also 0 and all values are positive. If all values are positive or greater, all the values in this matrix are positive or equal to 0 or greater than 0, means the solution is optimal. But if the values are in this matrix is equal to 0, that means we have also some alternative solutions. So we can say our transportation problem has been solved. Now we will learn our second method, least cost method. Here we have the problem which we have to solve by this method. We will try to find our least cost. In this cell, in this part, we have two least costs, 3 and 3. We can give allocation to any of this cell, but we will try to find the better way to allocate. If we give value to this cell, we can allocate 50 points. So we will try to satisfy this cell first. Now we will move to this cell. We will give 20 points to this cell. Now our first row has been fully satisfied and this column has been fully satisfied. After all, we have second least cost is 4. We can give 20 points to this cell. Now our first column is fully satisfied. 20 is equal to 40 and here is 50 and the total is 50. Our first column and second column is fully satisfied. Now we will check our next least cost. Our next least cost is 5. We will give 10 points to this. Now our third row is fully completed. Now we will give 20 points to this cell. Our first column is complete, 20, 20, 40. Our second column has been fully satisfied and also our third column has been fully satisfied. First row has been fully satisfied, 20. 20 plus 20 is equal to 40. So second row has been fully satisfied. Third row has 50 plus 10 is equal to 60. So we can say our third row has been fully satisfied. So this is our least cost method, in which first of all allocations are made to the cell which have least cost. Now we will check number of allocations. In this cell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have number of allocations are 5, which is equal to m plus n minus 1. M rows, we have 3 rows, 3 columns. M plus n minus 1 is equal to 3 plus 3 minus 1 is equal to 5. So we can move to our next step. Our next step is to find UV values. We can write here U1, U2, U3. Here V1, V2, V3. We can give 0 to this U1. Now we have U1 is equal to 0. U1 plus V1 is equal to this cell. If we have U1 is equal to 0, then V1 will be 3, because total of 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. Now we can find U2 by U2 plus B1 is equal to this cell. U2 plus 3 is equal to 4. So we can write here 1. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Now we will calculate our other value. u2 is equal to 1 and v3 is equal to 1 plus v3 is equal to 6. So we can say v3 will be 5. 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. Now we will calculate u3. u3 plus v3 is equal to 5. So u3 will be 0. 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Now we will calculate value of v2. 0 plus v2 is equal to 3. So we can say v2 is equal to 3. Now we have all values. u1 is equal to 0, u2 is equal to 1, u3 is equal to 0, and v1 is equal to 3, v2 is equal to 3, and v3 is equal to 5. Now we will make our UV matrix for all allocated cells and also for unallocated cells. Now we have this UI plus VJ matrix for allocated oblique unallocated cells. We have all U1 values and we have all VJ values. U1 is equal to 0, U2 is equal to 1, U3 is equal to 0, V1 is equal to 3, V2 is equal to 3. We will write all values in allocated cells. 0 plus 3 is equal to 3, 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, 0 plus 3 is equal to 3, 1 plus 5 is equal to 6, 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Now we will write here in blank cells, unallocated cells value. 0 plus 3 is equal to 3, 0 plus 3 is equal to 3, 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Now we have all values in also allocated cells and also in unallocated cells. So this is our UI plus VJ matrix. Now we will calculate our next matrix. We will calculate this matrix by solving original matrix and UI plus VJ matrix. Now we will calculate this matrix. In this matrix, we will calculate only values in unallocated cells. To calculate unallocated cells, we have to check also original problem. In the original problem, we have cell value of this cell is equal to 8 and we have calculated already UV matrix. In UV matrix we have value in this cell is equal to 3. Now 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. For this cell, we will check original cell. We have 9 in this cell. And in UI plus VJ matrix we have 3. 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. Also in second cell we have 4. And in UI plus VJ matrix also we have 4. 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. And next this cell. In this cell we have value of 6 in original cell. And in a UI plus VJ matrix we have 5. 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. So we have completed this matrix. We can see all values are positive and also 0. If all values in matrix are positive and also greater than or equal to 0, so we can say our solution is optimal. And if we have values like 0, then we can say we have some alternate solutions also. So least cost method has been completed here. Now we will learn Vogel's approximation method. We will solve this transportation problem by using Vogel's approximation method. And this method says we will find least cost in the first row. And the least cost is 3 and second least cost is 6. We will find its difference. 6 minus 3 is equal to 3. We will write here. Same process will be repeated in the second row. We have 4 as a least cost and next 4 is as a least cost. 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. And in the third row we have least cost is 3. Second least cost is 5. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. We will repeat the same process with columns also. We have 3 as least cost. Second least cost is 4. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. and in the second column also 3 is the least cost, 4 is second least cost. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Here least cost is 5, second least cost is 6. 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. We will find greatest penalty from these differences and also these differences. We have greatest value is 3 and 3 is written before this row. In this row we will check what is the least cost, and the least cost is 3. So we will allocate in this cell. In this cell we can allocate 20. Now we can see that this row has been fully satisfied. Now we will repeat the same process. We will check what is the least cost in this row. Least cost is 4, second least cost is also 4. 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. And the least cost is 3 in the third row, and second least cost is 5. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. The process will be repeated for the columns also. Here we can see our this row has been fully satisfied. So we will check least cost in two cells only, 4 and 8. Our first least cost is 4 and second least cost is 8. 4 minus 8 is equal to 4. Here the least cost is 3 and second least cost is 4. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Here least cost is 5, second least cost is 6. 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. Now we will again check what is the greatest penalty, and the greatest penalty is 4. Means we will do our allocation in this column. We can check and we can see in this column we can give only 20 and our least cost is 4. So we will give allocation to this cell 20. Now we can see our this column has been fully satisfied and also first row has been fully satisfied. Now we will repeat the process. We will check least cost only these two columns 4 and 6. Our least cost is 4 and second least cost is 6. 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. Now we will repeat the process for the third row 3 and 5. Least cost is 3, second least cost is 5. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Now you can come in the columns. In the column we have 4 and 3. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. We can see our greatest penalty is 2 and 2. We can give the allocation in both rows, second row and third row. We will check where is the least cost, and here is the least cost. 3 is our least cost. We will do our allocation in this cell. We can give 50 to this cell. We can see that our this column has been fully satisfied. Our this row has been fully satisfied. Our this column has been fully satisfied. This column also has been fully satisfied. We have only 2 rows and 1 column which has to be set. We have only 2 cells with which we can do allocations. In this row we have to allocate 60. 50 we have already given to this cell. Now we will write 10 here. And our third row also has been fully satisfied. And here we can do allocation of 20 points. Our this row also has been fully satisfied and this column has been also fully satisfied. This is the Vogel's approximation method. Now we will make UV, UI plus VJ matrix, and we will make that matrix by also finding UI and VJ values. First of all, we will check our number of allocations. In this method, number of allocations are also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have number of allocations are 5, which are also equal to m plus n minus 1, row plus column minus 1. So we can move to next step to finding UV values. Here we can write U1 is equal to U2, U3. Now we can write V1, V2, V3. We can do this process. Now we can write u1 is equal to 0. We have to find other values. If u1 is equal to 0, then we will find v1. u1 plus v1 is equal to this cell. If we have u1 is equal to 0, then v1 will be 3 because 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. If v1 is equal to 3, then we can find u2. u2 plus v1 is equal to this cell, means 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Now we can calculate v3. u2 plus v3. u2 plus v3 is equal to this cell, means 1 plus v3 is equal to 6. So 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. Now we have also v3 value. Now we will calculate u3 value. u3 plus v3 is equal to this cell, and this cell has 5. 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Now we can find value of v2 because u3 plus v2 is equal to this cell, and this cell has 3. So we can say 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. You can see we have all ui values and we have all vj values. u1 is equal to 0, u2 is equal to 1, u3 is equal to 0, v1 is equal to 3, v2 is equal to 3, v3 is equal to 5. So students, now we can make ui plus vj matrix. You can see our ui plus vj matrix. In allocated cells, we can write same value 3, 4, 3, 6, 5. We have to find values in these blank cells. These are called unallocated cells. This cell has value u3 plus v1. 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. And this cell u2 plus v2 means 4. And this cell u1 plus v3. 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. So this is our ui plus vj matrix. Now we will calculate this matrix. We will find the unallocated cells value. We will find these cells value by deducting ui plus vj matrix unallocated values from original cell values. For this cell, original value is 8 and ui plus vj matrix value is 3. 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. So we will calculate all values, like 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. And in the next cell, 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. For this cell, 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. So students, you can see here we have all positive values and some zero values. And if this matrix has all positive values, that means our solution is optimal. But if we have also 0 in some columns, in some cells, then we can say we have also alternative solutions are also possible. So friends, here our Vogel's approximation method ends here. Okay. So students, if you like this video and if you think you understand this chapter, then please like this video and please subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get all notifications for my coming videos. Thanks.